Well, it's the press review, and this morning we have a guest in the house who's going to be talking about the stories and analyzing the stories in national dailies this morning. I'm talking about Mr. Emmanuel Udala, a public affairs analyst. Good to have you on the program this morning.
It's my pleasure to be here.
All right, let's quickly take you straight up to stories making the headlines on our ABS website.
Governor Obiano holds talks with Mayor of Orange County, New Jersey, USA. Obi Okoye cautions ABGA members against inflammatory. Anambra Irish Professionals Association trains 93 youths on ICT in Anambra. Anambra rated first on improved healthcare services in Nigeria by EU. Bishop Ekwe asked federal government to tackle insecurity and employment. The Anambra urged to join cooperative societies to increase productivity. All right, those are the stories making the headlines on the ABS website. And let's begin with the very first one. Governor of Anambra State in New Jersey. And he holds talk with the mayor of Orange County.
Yes, it's a very interesting development because government is not about just thinking about yourself, just focusing on your area of reference. That is Anambra State.
Anambra State.
It's about going out to discuss with others and share experiences and then build on their strengths. So I commend the governor for that move. And I think that by the time he comes back, a lot of goodies will be there for the people of Anambra State.
All right, a lot of goodies will be there for Anambra people in the Anambra. Let's talk about this one. Anambra Irish Professionals Association training 93 youths in ICT in Anambra State.
Yes, this is also very interesting because for some time now, we have been grappling with unemployment in Nigeria generally. In fact, at the last count, it was said that about 23.1 million people are unemployed. So I commend that body for thinking beyond themselves, for deciding to empower youths, because these are the leaders of tomorrow. Once you empower them, we are sure that our tomorrow will be healthy. So they deserve a lot of commendation.
All right, quickly, in the Anambra urge to join cooperative societies to increase productivity. What's your take on that?
Yes. Globally now, I think the aim thing is for people to cooperate, So it is good that people of Anambra have been enjoying to join cooperative societies, because when you partner with groups and individuals, you increase your spark, whatever you are doing. So it's good for them to join cooperative societies, because that way they come with their different strengths.
Yes.
They come with their different strengths, and then you are also assured, of comfortable yields. Because you would have pooled your resources together. So the risk is minimized.
And it's even easier for them to access loans. Yes. Okay. Let's move over to the very first paper. Yeah, the Daily Times.
Esther is making the headlines, a very big one. Presidential poll with transmitted results to server using a code. That's coming from presiding officer with writers there. Galadima testifies against Buhari's election. Tribunal admits INEC's final result. I signed result under duress, alleges PDP agent. Looking on top of that paper, Frexim Bank announces $1 billion adjustment facility, other initiatives to support AFCFTA. Says facility will enable countries adjust to tariff losses, sets to launch Pan-African payment and settlement system. All underneath that story, we have heat stress to cause 3.6 million job losses in Nigeria by 2030, says ILOU. Appeal court reserves judgment on Buhari's academic qualification case. Well, another story underneath the Daily Times this morning. 111 Nigerian women die daily from childbirth, UNFPA. And tribunal confirms Wiki's re-election, dismisses AAC's petition. Now let's look at the big story. Presidential poll. We transmitted results to Saba using a code. That's coming from the presiding officer. And of course, with riders there, Galadima testifies against Buhari's election. Tribunal admits INEC's final results. And of course, a PDP agent alleged that is signed results under duress. What's your thoughts on that?
Yes, I think there's a lot of hype and issues about elections. The last election is being hyped unnecessarily. So far, it's been the award against that of the others. The issue is about propriety. It's about propriety, and I think it's up to the court now to decide how it goes. But if you ask me, I would want the cases to be rounded off immediately so that whoever is declared the eventual winner gets down to actual governance, because we are tired of these stories.
Because back and
forth. Back and forth. We don't know what to believe any longer. Because today you hear this thing, you hear one thing, the next day you hear another thing. Because it is a PDP that is now presenting their case. By the time the APC begins, we'll hear a whole lot of other things.
Sorry, yeah.
So my take is that they should quickly round off the matter so that we know where we are.
All right, let's quickly look at this one. Hot stress to cause 3.6 million job losses in Nigeria by 2030. That's coming from ILO. Heat stress.
Again, this is a forewarning kind of. So what it means is that we have to get down to business so that we don't encounter that prediction, so that we don't face it eventually.
All right, let's move over to the newspaper, the Punch newspaper. The big story there, Presidential Election Tribunal article to challenge 11 states' results. INEC ad hoc workers say server was used. Presidential panel demands 684 billion naira all-block renewal fee from Mobile. Restructuring, send El Rufai's panel report to National Assembly. Oshoba advises APC. Obasanjo, Nigerians' number one enemy, Oba of Lagos. Makinde Mabogunje orders honor Adebayo Akonde at 80. Insecurity, celebrities protest at redemption camp seeks Adeboye's intervention. Alleged assault, Abo arraigned, pleads not guilty, granted 5 million naira bail. Buhari's delay in appointing ministers affecting economy, PDP BOT. Police arrest siblings for kidnapping 88-year-old father. Custom officer faces medical test for promoting self to CG. Okay, Lagos seizes truckload of toxic woman. Deal with subsidy, early refineries, experts tell NNPC boss, that's the new boss. Core members who washed hair with sniper dies 10 days to birthday. Protest rocks APC secretariat as Kogi governorship aspirants reject indirect primary. Now let's look at the story. Let's move away from the Presidential Election Tribunal. Let's look at this story. Restructuring, send El Rufai panel report to National Assembly. Osoba tells APC.
Yes, in the run-up to the election, because the APC thought that these people, the PDP, as a party, was cruising to victory using the restructuring mantra. They had to cook up something. So I think it is, I commend Osoba for urging the party to also present that report, which they said they put together. So let them present it to the National Assembly so that Nigerians will see what becomes of it.
Now, this story about insecurity, celebrities protest at redemption camp seeking Adebayo's intervention. like going to the church to seek for Adebayo's intervention and his security. What's your thought on that?
It's a collective thing. It's not something that, because the man is not a magician. It's not a magician. It's insecurity is something that is it's about everybody. It's about every person being interested, and then contributing, because it's something that calls for collective action. Like I said, it's not a one-man show. It's not something that one person.
All right, let's look at this one. It's quite disturbing. Buhari's delay in appointing minister affecting economy, and that's coming from a PDP BOT member. Because a lot of people have been talking about it, and we know in his first term, we know how long it took him, close to like 6 months before he named his cabinet, and now it's actually time is moving again.
Yeah,
he's not named his cabinet yet. How do you think it's affecting the economy?
I think to an extent it's affecting the economy, but beyond that, there are permanent secretaries, federal permanent secretaries, and in the absence of ministers, permanent secretaries will take responsibility. So I don't think that non-appointment of ministers at this point is impeding on anything yet. The permanent secretaries should necessarily, fill the gap, hold the fort now that ministers are not there. They should necessarily attend the Federal Executive Council meetings where decisions are taken on what direction government is going.
And there was this news making the round. I don't know how accurate it is, but it still has to do with Buhari naming his cabinet, and I read where he said he wasn't going to name any cabinet yet until Atiku allows him to work.
Yeah, until the tribunal case.
So I don't know. Over. I don't know. You probably think that the case in court
regarding because if you look at it, even though sometimes you don't take it's not about believing the judiciary, but sometimes these things are hard to the extent that people think that something will happen. So Buhari is a human being, and naturally, given the quantum of evidence that is being churned out in the courts now, he would want to hold on for a while, so that by the time the verdict comes, he will now settle down to real business.
All right.
So I think.
Let's see how that turns out. Let's move on to the last paper for today, the Nation's newspaper. A story is making the headlines. The big one there, Oba of Lagos, a passenger, is problem with Nigeria. We write it there, Governors Tinubu, Kinky Bay, others called for national unity at Oshoba's 80th birthday. On top of the Nations this morning, Atiku's witnesses insist on server medical tests for fake customs DCG. DPR shot 17 gas outlets in Ibadan. Oando gets temporary relief against SAC. Afrexim banks $1 billion for African trade. Medical council convicts 2 doctors. Well, down there, Elumelu, others, PDP caucus warns leaders. Abbo pleads not guilty to assault charges. 4 refineries to work by 2023, says NNPC new boss. Look at the big one. We know how powerful Oba of Lagos is, and he's probably come out to say Obasanjo is Nigeria's problem. Emmanuel, what's your take?
No, it's entitled to his opinion, but I think that Obasanjo is helping to shape the polity, because you don't have people yesering all the time, being on the side of the establishment. There are people who should be on the other side, raising issues. Bringing a kind of national conversation so that people will discuss these issues. And Obasanjo has seen it all. He's been president for severally. So he has seen it all. So by anytime he talks, I think Nigerians should listen.
Now, this story, medical test for fake custom DCG. Is it the medical test that is important now, or for him to be prosecuted?
No. You see, it's anomalous. For you to see somebody who has been part of the establishment suddenly promoted himself to a position, there's something that is wrong. I think he needs to psychiatric examination. He needs to be examined.
All right.
You don't get promoted that way.
Okay, we know about the assault charges on Senator Abbo. but he's
the law
pleaded,
should take its course.
he's pleaded
The
not
law
guilty.
should take its course.
He says he's not guilty.
And that's it's before the court. So let the court decide.
And this is quite disturbing. The new NNPC boss, I don't want to say it's disturbing, but it's always good to have hope and have faith. Well, the new NNPC boss says in 2023 that 4 refineries will work. And my question is, before him, other NNPC boss has always been saying refineries will work, refineries will work, refineries will work, and yet we're still importing our fuel, exporting and importing.
What do you expect from him? Somebody who has just been appointed and inaugurated. What do you expect from him? He has to talk tough. He has to raise hope. But what I'm going to leave is that what I'm going to say is that he should walk his talk, so that by the time he leaves, Nigerians should be able to place what he has said now against his achievements.
All right.
Yeah, that's it. Just remember that if you want to tell the stories, you can still go to the dailies, pick them up, and read up those stories, making the headline on the National Daily. And that's the much we can take this morning, yeah? On the press review.
And I want to say a very big thank you to Mr. Emmanuel Odara, a public affairs analyst. It's good to have you on the program. And of course, I want to believe the people enjoy the analysis this morning.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
All right, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.